we'll see how that plays out.
Great. All right. Anything else, Steve?
Well, how much more do you want? Come on.
I'm just enjoying the beer. I don't want to. And now from the completely hirsutes to the Sporting Times of Yorkshire.
No.
Bring up the brilliant, the man of many layers.
Multi-layered.
So many layers.
Oh.
What do you think, Martin?
You know, my mind always goes blank when everyone asks me what it's about. What is it about? Right, mine's called The Void, right? And it is about it's really about all my feelings at the height of lockdown, when it was all really at the most scary and everyone was isolated off, and it's about that. But I've sort of sugared the pill by like a science fiction story about a man who is basically, he's in his little space pod and he gets trapped in like a spatial anomaly, if you like, and realizes that there's no hope of him ever being rescued. And you sort of, I very quickly skip past all the usual emotions in one page, actually, where he sort of, you know, has a breakdown basically because he's lost everything and he's doomed, and he then becomes philosophical. And really, a huge part of it is kind of him just thinking in space, you know. So I hope it's interesting. I've tried to design a cool space pod though that looks good from lots of different angles, because you see it from every angle possible.
I mean,
it's interesting.
Visually, it's like a jewel. I mean, the spaceship looks like
an egg.
Beautiful, glossy jewel. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Can I ask a question, Mark?
Of course you can, dude.
Did you make a 3D model for it?
I did.
Oh man, it's dope.
I did.
I love the way that it's exactly right from every angle.
Exactly. Well, I wanted to do this, like, I thought of it like a big Fabergé egg that he said.
Yeah, right, okay.
And when it was all like the technical drawing required for all these spherical egg-like shapes, to see it from every angle, oh man, it was baking my noodles. So I quickly made, it's not like the greatest model in the world, but I made a little CGI model in a program called Sculptress. Has anyone ever heard of Sculptress?
Yeah.
I use it sometimes to make heads of main characters, so I can
cool.
move them around and see what they look like from behind the shoulder and all that game, you know.
That's how you do it, Prolix.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How did you go to the toilet?
In the pod?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I
thought that was your answer. In the pod.
Yeah.
In the pod.
Yeah.
I guess he's got lots of wires if you look.
That's always the question you ask us about a spaceman. How does he go to the toilet?
Yeah.
Maybe it's already in, like,
in his space nappy.
You see him set off from a mothership in a pod, and he's only attached by this sort of line. So the idea is he goes in and comes out again. No, he's not in it for a long time. No,
so it's a bit of a, like
to piss himself.
An umbilical piss line.
Yeah.
He must have gone before he went on the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't stop now. No services.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, no, I mean, it's very timely, obviously. And I reckon there's probably going to be a fair number of readers who are going to be able to connect with that sort of philosophical journey of being in a bubble.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff, it's not just my thoughts, it was all the endless Zoom and Skype calls you were having with friends and family right at the height of the lockdown. It's what we were all talking about. There's lots of that sort of stuff. Everyone will be able to relate to it, I think, in various ways from that time. But hopefully, like I said, it won't be so depressing, because it's, you know, I don't want to give anything away, but it doesn't end without hope, and hopefully it looks quite cool. So yeah,
it looks cool. Great.
It does.
It's looking beautiful. It's looking stunning. Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you.
What about you, Russ?
Oh, cool. So I'm working on, so down here in sunny Portsmouth, beautiful day. I am working with some like my favorite kind of like cinematic tropes. So I'm doing a story that's set in the early 60s in and around the kind of the jet setting, one of the famous like jet setting locales of the Alps. And it's very Hitchcockian. It's all wrapped up in this, it's kind of a retelling of a a Slavic fairy tale called Goldhorn, and it's a little bit of you know, kind of I suppose in hindsight after writing it, maybe slightly resonant of like the Me Too movement, which sounds, you know, like this is probably not my story to tell, but I've enjoyed of trying to kind of wrestle and wrangle with it and working with markers and the process of doing something on the board as opposed to digitally. So everything is physical. So it's inks on page and then printing those out and then markering over those and scanning them back in. So it should hopefully have this real, you know, kind of like lo-fi analog feel to it. And you know, these markers they're just so bold, and which is not how I work. I mean, usually like my colors are quite desaturated. So to do something which is, you know, like a complete 180 from my usual fare has been a lot of fun. You know, like as we said, like this is a great vehicle for experimenting and trying some new stuff out. So I've had a blast, really.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I mean, your one with Gustavo's are finished, aren't they? They're completely finished. So those are the only two I've been able to read properly, you know, and they're just
I'm going to think
brilliant. I love it. I love your work though, Rust, man. You're on my sort of Alex Toth, Darwin Cook sort of.
That's exactly what I said to Pete in the text. Some of it was really Cook, man. Yeah,
but its own thing entirely as well. It's not like it's, you know, it's not like it's like a rip-off or even a homage. It's totally its own thing. You can see it coming from that school.
Well, I never in the same book. I always use.
Yeah, come on, it's Cook, man.
Man, I love it. Or Mazzucchelli as well. Bit of Mazzucchelli in there.
Love
Mazzucchelli.
I think he's so on like one of the YouTube videos. It's like Mazzucchelli.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Cheers, guys.
It looks amazing, Russ.
What's that?
It looks amazing. When you were saying about how bold some of it is with the colors, some of it looks like you colored it with those like Stabilo Boss Dayglow markers.
Right.
You know, like those real crappy
yellow
markers. Yeah, the yellow is like stark. It looks incredible.
It was. I mean, it was one of those moments where you're laying stuffed colors down, and you're thinking like, Christ, like, this is so bold. You've got to just kind of like the page doesn't look right until it's all finished. Like it looks like a 1980s wardrobe until you get to the very end and you can see it all in context.